I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what. Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car till you get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro.
Yes, sir. What it do? No, not Thursday. What's today? It's Tuesday.
Tuesday, man. Yeah, this is terrible. Taco Tuesday, baby.
Something like that. We going live early because we gonna be, we gonna have that itis in 2 days, and after eating all that turkey, we gonna be sleeping. So
yeah, man. I already started. Unfortunately, man. I'm already digging my finger in the plate and tasting. So it's all good.
See, there you go. See, I got house chores after the show tonight. I got to get the place ready because I got 20, 30 people coming to the crib. So
you boss baller, man. Make sure you get the cover up. Make sure everybody tests.
Yeah. If you want to come, everybody cleared and everything. But come on over if you want to. There's gonna be a gang of food. So shouts out to everyone. Team No Sleep coming to you live Tuesday, early evening, 6:30. This is a regular time that we supposed to be streaming. Mm-hmm. So my mind is right now. I was off a little last week because we had some hard hitting stories last week.
Yeah, man, we was doing so. We was talking about some crazy things, man, that's going on in the world. But you know how it go, man. I mean, that's life.
That's
sometimes
true.
Sometimes it's serious, and today it's a little bit more lighthearted. Talk a little bit more about some sports and some things that impact us, and focus more on the positive than the negative. But we'll talk about some things that's going on with people.
We gonna do what we do all the time, right? And make sure it happens. So let's
make it happen. Make it happen, But like
smokes.
I said, man, we was just talking about before, man. That new, I don't know if y'all caught it, but you got to watch that New Edition performance at the AM, man. Very good to see them brothers back on, man. Just put a smile on my face. We ain't too old to do it, huh?
Look, I may hurt a knee or my back or something if I try some of the dance moves, but I used to know every single hammer move. I used to know every single New Edition move back in the day. Y'all know.
Shout out to Bracy, man. Too damn funky. We used to do a bit.
Yeah, Bracy. I've seen some videos of him out there doing it too. We doing it too.
We used to get on up, man. So shout out to my man.
Yeah. What's up, people in the audience? Thank you for joining us on a new day, special day. Just doing Team No Sleep, like I said, because we know it's Turkey Day coming up in a couple of days. But we wanted to, be true to the audience and the community. Still go live and talk what we can about what we can. So, where we gonna start, man? We got a couple of things that are social impactful. We can start either with the Olympics, or we can start with the Scuffle.
The Malice in the Palace too.
The rebuttal of the Malice in the Palace.
Part 2, man.
Let's
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I'll just set it up if folks don't know, if you're not basketball fans, but man, them Lakers and them Detroit Pistons, that always been a rivalry. So there was a little bit of a hard, flagrant 2 foul on Mr. LeBron James the other night. the gentlemen got to swinging, closed fists. They got to fighting. I'm just gonna be real. Brothers just got to acting a fool and were charging after each other, and it got to be a little belligerent. Mm-hmm. Needless to say, both of those gentlemen have been suspended. They losing a little bit of money because they're not playing tonight. Their teams are playing tonight, but neither one of them are playing tonight. I believe LeBron got suspended for 1 game, and Mr. Wright got suspended for 2 games. You know, my question to the audience and to you, Montell, is just thinking about it again. We call it the malice in the palace. So you kind of you part 2. We remember what happened with Artest and the folks back in the day when that all went down with Indiana. Mm-hmm. Just player security, arena security, because fans, you know, we get excited, we get hyped up. We're in the environment. We're seeing our team that we're rooting for having an issue. A lot of times, look, we get in the moment. We say, man, I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna scuffle and throw some blows too. We know it's the wrong thing to do, but it's I shouldn't say it's a human nature thing, but you know, just start thinking about, should security start doing some things to alleviate, try to prevent when things get like this, right? What can be some protocols, or, you know, where's the onus, right? Is the onus on the athlete? Is it on the referees, the umpires, or the fans, that kind of thing?
In this particular situation, it's going to be hard to judge because, one, I never want to tame anyone competitive spirit, because competitive spirit is what drives it.
I like that. Yep.
And that's going to always, you know, you're going to butt heads when you have 2 competitors. I mean, in this particular incident with the malice in the palace part 2, LeBron gave him a kind of unwarranted elbow. They hit him in the face. They cut him pretty bad. And I can see where he lost it. You know, where the guy lost it. He got hit in the face pretty hard. He got cut in the face. Competitive juices are still flowing. The game was still close. People don't talk about the game like it was a blow. It was still pretty close at that point. Wasn't too far away. And they're going at it, and this guy LeBron elbows him. You know, they have a few words, and now you're going to the macho man thing right there. You know, we're having a few words. You know, there ain't no apology. There ain't nothing in there. Now it's nothing but between me and you and space, and let's get down to settle this. And I think that's the way the young man felt. I can't think of his name on the Pistons, but
Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, Isaiah Stewart.
But see, Isaiah Stewart, when he went there, right? I mean, he really forgot that he was on live TV in front of 30,000 fans. He really took it back to the street there, because he's charged.
He's elbowed. He's straight up.
There's the adrenaline. Yeah, he's bleeding everything
down his face. You know, and you're not gonna say sorry. Yeah. You're not even gonna say sorry. You're not gonna apologize. You ain't gonna be like, yo, man, I didn't mean to do that. You didn't say none of that. You acting like, yo, that I did something wrong by confronting you by elbowing me in the face.
Right.
And I think that's where he probably lost his temper. At least that would have looked like on camera. I don't know what words were exchanged, but it looked like that LeBron wasn't saying sorry. And let's be honest, Stewart didn't want it right off the bat when he squared up. I think it was like, okay. When people came around, then it was like, all right, you know what?
Well, you know how it is. That's how it is, right? Hold me back, and everybody holding you, brother. Well, you know.
but then I think as people started holding them back and getting intervened and kind of like, you know, stopping them from having words or whatever, I think he just got more fueled and more frustrated. Like, yo, this dude ain't gonna say nothing to me. Like, he's not gonna, you know, he ain't gonna acknowledge what he did to me. So I think it came. I think to answer your question though, whose responsibility is it? It's the players ultimately. You know, they're the point you're all adults, you're making millions of dollars. You got to be able to handle yourself in a certain manner. But that young man Stewart, he's a young man, a lot of vigor, a lot of you know, things going on. Want to be competitive. They're trying to win. Everything's kind of up in the air.
Both teams aren't doing as they expected to be doing at this time of the season as well. So there's some challenges with that, right?
Yeah, he just got hit in the face. I mean, remove the crowd, remove it the NBA, and we're in the basketball gym at the Y.
Yeah,
that scenario happens. It's going to be the same thing that happened there would be the same thing happening in the Y.
True.
It's going to be an altercation and a fight, and people trying to break it up. True. Because it's just it's more of the competitive nature than anything else. You hit me, you fouled me hard, you don't acknowledge me. Yo, homie, like really, like this is what's really going on. And it was an unnecessary foul. LeBron didn't have to elbow him in the face. He didn't. That's not a normal box out move.
No,
When you
that's
throw your
true.
elbow
No,
in
that's
his
true.
face.
And
He could've
LeBron
just,
being in the league 16, 17 plus years,
yeah,
he
knows
knows
better.
better than that. So
He knows better. So the player contact is where it's at. I think the penalty was light on LeBron, and heavier on Isaiah, rightfully so because of his antics afterwards.
you're right.
But the
Right.
foul itself, it's all LeBron. It was LeBron James' fault. He elbowed a dude in the face. He cut him. He didn't. And LeBron did nothing to deviate the situation. All he did is run. I don't want to say run, but he walked behind the referees and just stood there.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't do.
LeBron don't want a whole lot of smoke. You know, he
Yeah,
out there
I didn't.
doing his thing,
Yeah,
and
I didn't. He was like, I didn't do nothing, and the guy was going off because, like I said, competitive spirit, everything flowing. I get hit in the face real hard. You're not acknowledging it. Just being competitors. Me and you both, James, being competitors at the collegiate level, we know, if we both really competitive and we going into something and you do something wrong to me that's not fair and it's not acknowledged, we're gonna have extra words.
That's true. That's true.
You know.
Let me go ahead and say what's up to folks that are coming in the comments. We already gave a shout out to Senior there. Good to see you, sir. Dr. Walter Strong the third. We see you, man. Appreciate you for being here. Lisa Maria, so glad you got a chance to join us tonight. Always great to see you. And Mr. JP High Tech, my goodness, man, you see my studio. It's all courtesy of Mr. JP High Tech and his brand design and his elements. So shouts out to him for coming through and helping us out. We're asking the question about the Pistons and the Lakers in that situation that happened last couple of nights ago, and kind of where the onus is in terms of when the scuffle happens. And man, they're showing it here on the screen right now, right? And look, the man got hurt pretty hard there, and adrenaline is flowing, blood is flowing. He's tasting his own blood, so yeah, he's gonna run back after LeBron and try to retaliate. But I worry about fans who try to then jump onto the playing field or try to again interject and intervene when they shouldn't be. And do we need more? So I understand what you're saying about the players owning this, right? And they should have the restraint, and they should know it's a game. They're getting paid millions of dollars. Look, LeBron's losing $200,000 game check for not playing tonight. But honestly, that's pocket change for him. I don't want to say that disrespectfully, but that kind of is what it is. But when we're there, we're sitting there. We got a $8 beer in our hand. We see the person that we paid $100 to go see. They're getting in a scuffle. We're already anxious. And again, I don't have an answer, yes or no, either way. I'm just really kind of picking at the scab, so to speak, just to try to get some dialogue, even with the audience here, about how the fans should react to something like this.
Yeah. Oh, I think. Well, first of all, let's commend the people in Detroit. They controlled. The crowd was controlled the whole time the scuffle was there. So they learned a lesson from Malice in the Palace 1. They controlled the crowd to make sure everything was okay. There was nothing thrown on the floor, or thrown at players, or anything like that. They kind of got that all under control. I think you got to hold responsibility of fans as fans. Your job is there to come watch the game, even though you're excited and you want to be a part of it. If something breaks out that's like a fight or anything, it's not your job to get involved in it or get, to be all in it or anything like that, or get yourself physically involved in it at all. You're not paid to do that. That's not your job. That is not your responsibility, no matter how much of a fanatic you are. I think that we learned that from the Malice in 1. When fans get involved, they're going to get, I think a player has the right to defend himself.
They're going to get dealt with, especially when you got someone like a Ron Artest coming at you, because
Jermaine O'Neal, or
they just don't care.
They have a responsibility to protect themselves. I don't think it'll ever take part where the fans get involved as much like that anymore. I think they got an understanding when things like this happen. But I'm going to be perfectly honest. For me, as a fan standpoint, watching it on TV and just being a basketball fan, I like the competitive spirit and I like the fight.
Definitely
not the physical fight that they were going to have altercation, but I like the hard fouls. Yeah. I like this. It's starting to become playoff basketball like we had back in when New York should play Chicago, when Detroit Pistons was the bad boys.
Yep.
I miss that element of basketball because that was you can negate someone's skill set by being physical or being overzealous in the NBA. If someone's a great, like a Kyrie Irving couldn't do what he did against the bad boys of old school. So as soon as he steps across that free throw line going to the hole, it was going to be a hard foul.
That's true. Lambier will put it on him. That's true. And
So-
you know what? And this is funny. And a lot of old school folks, a lot of sports fans. So maybe I know Walter Strong would know this and appreciate this. Only basketball, only the NBA allows this, that competitive nature to actually play out, because there's so many restrictions now, even in football, right? Over celebrating, a score or something of that nature. You can't do that. Baseball is crazy with you can't, if you look at the pitcher the wrong way because he strikes you out, he's doing his job. I mean, right? I mean, it's just wrong. Right, you can't flick the bat, right? When you hit a ball 450 feet, man. Look, I'm flipping the bat and I'm doing cartwheels as I run across the bases, and that'll get you beamed with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. So it's not even allowed in America's pastime sport, but basketball, right? You see folks making gestures, doing all the screaming, all the yelling, and actually showing the passion and showing the emotion in the sport. So that right, you see it all.
All that, you get all that, and you get all this when you tearing somebody up. I think it has this last American flair, or people would say, some people call it trash talking, some people would call it whatever. I think it's fun for the game, especially when you're at that elite level. You're able to have a little bit of fun with it. You're able to jaw with somebody a little bit. You're able to talk stuff coming back at you. It's all a part of the game to be competitive nature and all in the essence of winning. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think we missed that flair. I know. Everyone loves LeBron from 2000 on this the LeBron show and how LeBron's transcended the game. But I think the appreciation from 1999 all the way through the 80s, where we got to witness, I thought basketball probably at its best form. And I know they wanted to remove the physical part of it because of the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers and all the fights and everything.
They definitely used to get into it.
Yeah, but we missed that part because we knew that was the most intense part of basketball you're gonna have. They are gonna get on the court. Reggie Miller is gonna talk his trash. He's gonna hit 3 threes,
weighing all of 102 pounds. Reggie Miller gonna talk madness and back it up.
And he was talking to Spike Lee, telling him to sit down, and we were like, "Whoa, this dude! This is the most amazing kind of basketball we want." Now we get to the point where we're here, and none of that's there. We watch the game. It kind of has a little bit of flair and have a little bit of chivalry and a little bit of braggishness about it, but the physical part is done. I can't negate Steph Curry by fouling him hard, because if I foul Steph Curry hard, I'm kicked out of the game. I can't do any of that stuff. And there's pluses and minuses to it, but I miss that part of the game. I do miss that historical part of the game because those were fun. But this is fun too. I mean, today's game is great too.
It's just different. I mean, to your point, I saw a recent episode with Kevin Hart, Cold as Balls, and he had Jerry Rice in the ice tub, right? And Jerry Rice was saying the same thing about football, right? It's so, he's not that they're soft, right? Because the players are still hard and they still compete and they're still competitive. It's just very different. The edge is gone. You can't send a 300-pound lineman after you to take your head off, so to speak, right? Again, there's so many precautions in place, but just games are different, and I think the onus should be on us old hats, on us old school folks, to teach the youngsters, show them the old film. Show them some of those old. Sign up and subscribe to ESPN Classics, folks. You need to see some of that stuff before HD.
I hear you, but the rules don't transcend to what we used to do to what they could do now. The rules don't allow us to, like. I tell my sons and people that I know that I work, I could never play football today. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And the reason being is that the way I would go against my opponent, I would try to intimidate him. I was a small guy, small stature, playing college ball. I was 165, playing safety. So when a big tight end coming across the middle, or I made sure I laid everything I can to him to hit him as hard as I could to intimidate him. And I use my crown on my helmet to do it.
Yeah.
I could get away with it. Now I can not use my crown on my helmet, use my shoulders, but the fact of the matter, I'm gonna hit him as hard as I could, no matter what, every time. That today will be a penalty.
Sure would. Would.
Me, if a blocker's coming at me, I'm gonna punch him in his face to get him off of me and do whatever I have to do. You can't do that nowadays. So the rules don't permit someone like me to be physical and be able to use my physical to negate someone that's more athletically better than me. That used to be the even kill. If someone's faster than you, I could be more physical than him. If someone can jump higher than you, I could be more physical than him. You know, in all sports but baseball, because baseball is a little bit different. But in all team sports, no matter what it is, if I can be more physical than you, I can negate some of your athleticism. And you can't do that anymore.
That's true. That's just got to be just depressing and just, I don't know, for a lot of folks that are out there, right? You think of I just think on the defensive side, especially, right? Just the folks on the you can't come full bore after. Yeah, you know, you want to be safe. You don't want to hurt nobody. You don't want to put anybody in the hospital. But man, you sure do want to play football, or you sure do want to play defense in any sport, right? When you're out there trying to guard your goal, guard your rim, guard your hoop, whatever the case may be. But we'll see how it works out, man. But
let's circle back. Let's circle back to the fight.
You want to go back to the fight? Okay.
I mean, we got to talk about the fight. I mean, if we go back to the fight though, but like you said though, initially, was it handled right? I thought it was handled correctly. I thought, you know, the young man, he got out of control. Saw, like you said, tasting his blood, saw his blood. It didn't seem like LeBron acknowledged any kind of apology. So that just infuriated him more, and he was trying to get to him. And I attribute that to competitive nature and in the heat of the battle. Yeah. That's what that is. Now the heat of the battle's over and it's all washed off. It's gone. I think it's no different than what Jokic did to Morris when Jokic tried to elbow him and run away.
Yeah.
Jokic laid the ball.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Now that was Jokic. Man, come on. You can't come at me from my back like that.
But we're talking about an American ball that we say, we're gonna face up and square up.
Yeah.
But if you look at the bit, he jumps into Jokic, throws an elbow, and tries to run away. Jokic just say, before you run away, let me give you one of these.
Yeah, okay, no, that's true. But Jokic showed that come up behind him and give him that good sharp elbow right in the spine. Like, golly, there'd have been a little scuffle too.
Tell your brother to come when you play your brother. He can come on and get a little bit too if you want some.
Yeah.
So
competitive nature, we love it.
Yeah, I think the competitive nature is always good. It's always good for any sport, and it's always good to develop those rivalries. Now I'm sure the Pistons and the Lakers got a rivalry now.
Again, it's even more cemented. So when all of them get back on the court, when both of those gentlemen are off of their suspensions, it'll be hot again. But we'll see how that works out. I almost wonder as well about this because unofficially, it seems like LeBron is kind of the face of the league, right? And we're going to kind of go into some other things about LeBron James as well, and kind of what he started athletes and their role outside of the game. But this is definitely a black eye for LeBron, right? Flagrant 2, even though it's only his second one in 17 years, it just seems like the way that he handled it could have been a little bit better for someone who, he's not the logo, he's not Jerry West, but again, he's kind of the face of the league right now, and especially not just on the court, but in a lot of other things that he does as well. So I can see a meeting with Adam Silver about this right here. To be honest,
I would say the black eye comes because he didn't really acknowledge it in his press conference. Like he really stood and apologized after his press conference. Being suspended, he kind of just didn't really say much about it. Kind of dodged the question, like, hey, you what's going on? You guys okay? Or nothing. He didn't really he never said, I apologize for elbowing him in the face.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
So to me, if someone doesn't apologize at least 2 hours afterwards and acknowledge what they did, that means he kind of meant to do something, or he meant to lay there. I think that's the part I'll be more disappointed than anyone. If I was Adam Silverman, I'd be like, look, you are the face of the league. You're the guy that we go to. You're the guy that we're paying the big checks to. I wish you would have issued an apology for doing something that was just wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which way you look at it, was wrong.
Yeah, just speak up.
Yeah, speak up and we can just move on.
And that kind of leads to kind of what we were talking about as well, responsibility of athletes outside of the pitch, the court, the field, wherever they play, right? And there's a lot of, we talk social impact and we focus on that. What's the onus and what's the responsibility for athletes? And I'd love to hear folks in the audience as well talking about this. What do you think? Is it shut up and dribble? Right? We heard that for the last 6 years or so, and we definitely stood back when we heard that, right? Because we didn't like the tone that came with that. But should athletes be more socially aware, socially active? Should they use these platforms that they got, all these social media platforms and things like that, to spread their messages? Should the shoes that they wear talk to and about social issues and aspects? I can't remember the guy who wore the shoes the other day, and now he's got death threats against him. He and LeBron were going through some things because he had some shoes that he was wearing.
In Cantor, the center.
Yeah, Cantor. That's right. So those kind of things. Should those types of social statements be made? Look, yeah, we saw a whole lot of commentary when kind of the whole Black Lives Matter started, right? And we saw the NBA really kind of stand up in terms of all the sports leagues and address it. But yeah, you got everyone wearing uniforms that have slogans on them, logos on them. You got people wearing their own custom shoes that's saying whatever. What are your thoughts on do athletes? Is that part of what we expect our athletes to be doing, right? In terms of socially aware, socially conscious, and statements out there like that.
And before the audience comments on it, remember Kaepernick. I just want to put.
That's where I was going. That's where I was going. Okay, go ahead.
Remember Kaepernick before you say that. Now, I'll just how I feel about it. I think it's okay. Yeah. I think it's okay if it's addressing something that is wrong in our society. Then I think with their platform, they should have the platform to be able to speak about it. I mean, entertainers do it all the time. How come our athletes can't do it? Which with sports is just another form of entertainment. Now. There should be a way you should be able to do it. There should be a tasteful way of doing it. Like I said, let's speak about Kaepernick. I thought Kaepernick did it in a very tasteful way. He took a kneel that another soldier suggested he do, a vet suggested he do during the national anthem to talk about social injustice and the things that were going on with police brutality. I thought it was great. I thought NFL dropped the ball and didn't approach Kaepernick and ask him, how can we join efforts with you in order to bring awareness to it instead of blackballing him? So I believe athletes should. I think the WNBA does a great job of promoting awareness about things that they really want to, whether it be they unify really, really well. I don't know if it's just your sport or the nature of how they do it, but they really uniform. I mean, I remember before the championship, Sue Berg and her team was wearing black shirts in protest or something. So they really do it really, really well. I think the WNBA, like you said, spearheaded, but it's fell off now. And then we got all these things that's going on now in our society with the two cases with the Rittenhour and the Rittenhour case that just happened. Right. And now we have Aubrey's cases up right now. Correct. And Breonna Taylor case is coming up right after that. So we have three big things that's going on in our society. And we're going to have a lot of people speaking about it. A lot of African-American athletes, I'm pretty sure, going to comment on it like they had about the Rittenhour case and so on and so on. Is their place of work the right platform to do it? I say it's okay because it reaches the masses as long as it's done in a tasteful way and it's an agreement with the NBA or the team and all that. I think it's okay. I don't think as long as you don't do nothing too crazy to prove your point or state your facts.
Yeah, and you think about different industries allow for different things. We're both in the IT field, right? We're both enterprise architects, or we work in an enterprise technology field. It's going to be pretty tough for me to walk into a boardroom or conference room, rocking gear, speaking a specific social statement, right? I can feel a certain way that I want to, but again, when I get in front of the room and do what I call the jazz hands, I can't be. I need to maintain that separation of the church and state, right? So it's difficult in the private sector, corporate sector, technology sector to speak that and have that in mind. Yeah, we have what we call ERGs, employee relations groups. We have specific groups where we can go in and we can have that dialogue and talk. But I don't have that luxury. I don't have that luxury just in my field, as opposed to someone like, again, who's an athlete making $20 million a day.
I'm glad you just spoke about that and being in the workplace, because we could just see what's happening with Netflix, right? With the Dave Chappelle situation. The people that protested that, they either quit or they got somehow furloughed or laid off.
Yep.
In that situation. So you can't, you're right. We have to tread it in water very lightly when it comes to our workplace, because we're not financially secure, to be able to say I could say what I want, do what I want, and be able to get away with it. Unfortunately, I know money shouldn't be the issue when it comes to expressing your opinion, but unfortunately, if you want to do it in a place of business, you have to be able to really maneuver what you're going to say and when you're going to do it, because the ramifications can be termination.
Yeah. If you've got more to lose than you do to gain, right? I think irregardless of what your financial situation is, right? If you got more to lose than you do to gain, just be aware and be cognizant before you open your mouth or before you do those 144 characters on
That's a
Twitter
great way of putting
and
it.
put it out there, right?
Yep, that's a great way of putting it. Yep.
Because that'll go out. I've sent a couple of tweets out in my day that have made a lot of noise, and I'm like, oh, okay, somebody's listening, but so you definitely want to be aware of what you're saying.
Yeah, you have to be very aware of what you're saying, who you're saying it to, and your audience. I think that when we were younger, we could say things that we could get away with that you can't get away with now. We can use certain slurs or terms or slang, however you want to say it, back then that we can't use now because it's just not so socially acceptable, especially not in the workplace. In your professional workplace.
Yeah.
It's just very, very hard. But again, they're in a different platform than us.
Right.
Again, sports is a form of entertainment. Millions of people are watching. They can express their opinion, or their view on a situation, and get a million people to either agree or disagree with them. But that will spark interest and talk about it. I thought that was very interesting with the Black Lives Matter when LeBron would say something, or when Kyrie Irving would say something, or when Aaron Rodgers would say something. People will respond whether it was a positive or negative way. But the thing is, everybody was becoming aware of the situation.
Right.
So
that's the pro to the con, right? Again, just as long as we have the conversation and have the dialogue, that's what I think gives people more ulcers and more stomach cramps, because they don't talk about these types of things all the time, right? They leave it bottled up and they form their own opinions and then go out and drive a truck through parades.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to put that right there. I'm going to leave that right there. Okay.
Boom, drop the mic on that one.
I told you I was going to come with some sound effects tonight. Let's go. Let's move on. But folks, tonight we feeling good because there's definitely a lot less stress happening in terms of the world of sports and the social impact of sport. We don't have any new stories that we're aware of things like we did the last few weeks. We'll say glad that
we got a few people unemployed, getting ready to be unemployed.
We got some things happening, especially on the football side. People losing their job. But I was going to say, at least the gentleman that we talked about last week is no longer out in the streets. He's actually now behind. Stacy, what's his first name?
Jack Stacy.
I'm just glad that he is no longer out there roaming the streets and that he is now in a cage. So yes, so I must say, all right.
There we go.
Let me before we go into the football thing and about those folks losing their jobs, another kind of social focus one we talked about, the Olympics, right?
Oh yeah.
And I forgive me if I don't say her name right, so I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to put it on the screen. Peng Shuai, the tennis player from China, put out a post on the Chinese social network and stated actually that she made allegations of sexual assault against a high-profile Chinese political person. That caused some concern for her safety because no one had seen her for a while after that post. We wondered if she was fine, if she was okay, if she was held somewhere against her will. But actually, within the last 48 hours, she's actually made a public appearance. She did a video shoot, or she was actually at a kids tennis match and stated that she was at home, she was resting, she just wanted her privacy and things of that. But we wonder, a lot of countries, the U.S., France, and a couple other countries are wondering, is she under duress? Right? Is she really okay? We got proof of life. We want proof that she's cool at the house and it's going to be all right as she continues to work through these statements that she's made, because it's state-run media there in China, and you're not really free to say and do what it is that you want to do. United States is considering actually a diplomatic ban of the 2022 Olympics as well over this. So the diplomatic ban just means that dignitaries aren't going to show up, not necessarily athletes. The athletes will still play. So it's only being considered right now. It hasn't been made for statement for sure. But thoughts on this, man, right? Again, here we have an athlete who is making a statement of sexual assault against not someone within the Olympics, not someone within tennis, but someone within the Chinese government and a high-ranking person. And we can't find her for a little bit, right? So you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes.
I've been to China. I was in China for a month.
Okay.
On work. So I kind of understand a little bit of the culture. I can't say I'm a expert, but I've been there for a month and I understand a little bit the ins and outs. And it is very government ran. The government runs everything to where you can travel, to where you can go, and what times you can go, and when you need to be back, and so on and so on. So I can only imagine making an accusation against a high government official, what kind of scenario she's probably in. Again, it was good to see her alive. She was standing there on the sideline. She really wasn't doing that. She was just kind of standing there and showing that, hey, I'm okay. And I know she said that she was at home resting and all that, but I don't know how it plays out in China. You know what I mean? It could go either kind of way for her. Her career could be over. As far as we know, they may say she can never play tennis no more, or they can do whatever. I mean, again, that's a whole different world that they live in over there, in opposed to what we do in the United States. There is you can't go there and it's going to be a big propaganda and we're going to force some change. The government controls all that. So there's going to be no force to change it on anything unless the government wants it to be. I feel sorry. I feel empathy for her and feel sorry for her because I can only imagine what kind of scrutiny and what kind of things she's probably going on. And I would say, in my opinion, I don't think she was at home by herself or under her own will. I think they probably made her stay home or probably made her make an appearance because people were worried about what she was doing, and maybe the people of China was getting in the uproar, figuring out what went on. So,
Who's filming the video and who's standing next to the person with the video and what's in their hands? Again, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy person or anything, but I'm just, again, this is just real world situations and what we're thinking about in terms of what this woman may be involved in.
This is out of my realm. I don't even know what to think about it.
I don't want to mess with. I'll mess with everybody else, but I don't want to mess with no government entities.
Yeah, we don't know what she could do. I mean, we don't know. Basically, we don't know what her rights are, or what she could do, or what plan of action she could even take to ensure she'll be okay and everything works out okay, because their government operates differently. And I can tell you, their government is stupid strict. And when I mean strict, it is strict. I remember I was over there, and I'll just tell a quick story. I was over there, and one of my coworkers, I was just kind of asking, like, hey, what happens to a person if you did this? So I said, well, hey, what happens to a person if they were to smoke a joint? She said 10 years in prison, automatically first offense. Whoa. Okay. What if a person does drunk driving? Because everyone drinks to drive. Person that does driving, first offense, you get 10 years in prison and a fine, and the person that served you the drink gets 10 years in a fine. So you can imagine you're making an accusation on a political person that he sexually assaulted you. How stringent the government is, what could possibly happen. I'm like, man, this is something, like I said, it's crazy. I don't know, and I hope the young lady's safe. I pray for her safety, but I'm not quite sure what's going on, what's going to happen with this case, and if we ever, what will hold the future for her, especially in tennis.
Yeah. We will see, but we definitely wanted to talk about it and bring it to light because it's unfolding, and just I don't know, the spidey senses are tingling. Right, I just don't think that all is well with this young lady. I just don't know.
I don't either, man. I don't think it's all gravy. Not over there. No.
So we'll see. But I do look forward to the Olympics coming, but I don't know what I'm looking forward to. My curling. That's my sport. Yeah, with the brooms on the ice. That's man. That's sport, man. That's what I'm looking forward to, guys.
That's like playing darts or something.
That's like playing professional cornhole.
Yeah.
I done probably made some people
it's
mad.
It's competitive, but it's not no sport. It's a competitive thing, but it ain't no sport.
We'll see how that works out. We'll see how that works out. Where we at? No no football tonight. We just got a couple of NBA games going right now. The
Lakers is playing right now. Are they winning?
No, they lost by, was that? I'm old. I can't see. It looks like they 106 to 100 against them Knicks. Okay, them Knicks pull something out.
Yeah. So The fight didn't help them at all. Okay, they couldn't get it together without the fight, so that's
Yeah,
good.
Detroit lost too. Detroit lost against Miami, so both teams lost without two key players. So that's unfortunate. Basketball, Klay Thompson is back at practice, full-time practice. So may see that man. That's gonna be good to see him and Steph Curry out there doing their thing together because they really light up the court there. Draymond Green out there kicking people all the time. So it'd be good to see.
I leave Draymond alone, man.
Draymond out there always kicking the people. Man, you don't.
They only rival is the can't get it right king. So it don't matter.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it.
Sacramento Kings, right? The Sacramento Kings because they can't get it.
Well, right. they just fired the coach. They just fired Luke, right? So Luke is gone.
We just said there's some people there's some out of work people right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
they ain't got a lot to be thankful for right now. So Luke Walton, he got the axe.
He sure did. He got walked out the door because he just wasn't doing. We saw that coming, man. I mean, they had a little spurt, but they just never got to a point.
But you got to be honest. You got to be honest with the situation. What have the Kings done to make that team competitive in the best division in basketball?
Yeah,
they can't attract a big time free agent, and they don't want to spend money.
Yeah.
So what? Let's be honest. What coach is going to be able to change that? There's no coach going to be able to change that. Not winning in that division. No. I mean, you got Golden State, Sacramento, Portland. I think Portland's in there. They got the Clippers. They got the Clippers and the Lakers.
Yeah.
Portland and Phoenix and the Warriors.
Yeah, even with Shaq having his little minority ownership, right? I mean, he's just not enough to pull as much trash as he talked about Sacramento when he played.
So he's gonna buy him. He's gonna buy him, and he can't make him better. So I believe I love Fox. I think Fox is a great player. I think Hild's an up and coming shooter. They got some small pieces, but that's not enough to compete in that division at all. That division is. I don't think Portland's in a division. I might be mixed, but I know Phoenix, Clippers, Lakers, and Warriors are in that division, and they just don't got enough firepower to compete. You got to think you got the running up, the team that was running up in the championship with Phoenix. You have the Warriors, who's the hottest team in the league right now. You have the Clippers, who's always going to be a battle, and the Lakers, regardless of even how old they are, they're always going to be a battle. And all four of those teams were in the playoffs last year in that division. So how you going to how you going to compete in that division and be successful? It's just very difficult for them to be in that situation.
Yeah, the one you was missing was the Suns. So in the Pacific, it's the Warriors, the Clippers, the Lakers, Suns, and then the Kings.
Yeah, then the Kings. Yes. So, man, good luck to whoever takes over the Kings. I hope my man Fox get out of there so he can go win one day and become an all-star. But it don't look like it's gonna happen anytime soon.
Not anytime soon.
They just, it's just gonna be hard for them to get out. But Fox and Hield and Harrison Barnes, they got some cool teams. It's just not enough.
Yeah. Talking about folks losing their job, we just saw Jason Garrett got some walking papers this morning. Right.
Where's your sound effect?
Which one you want for him? Because I can give him this one.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Because he knew. I was watching the game last night, and I saw Jason Garrett sitting on the sideline. He was just shaking his head like this at every other play. He knew the writing was on the wall when they couldn't do nothing. Man, so he gone. Giants fired him as the OC.
Pause real quick. Pause.
Okay.
The Giants gonna hire Jason Garrett. He couldn't do nothing when he was the head coach of Dallas. What made them think he was gonna be able to do something as an offensive coordinator for them?
You talking madness? Wait.
I'm just being. Let's be real. What made them think they was gonna be able to do something? It made no sense. I mean, I don't ever wish no man to lose his job, but I don't feel sorry for a millionaire losing his job.
Okay.
That's just the reality.
Oh no, I don't feel sorry for him either. He didn't produce, so he gone. He's standing in the EDD line too. So
his month's paycheck is probably both of me and yours combined. So I ain't gonna feel too bad for the brother. So he'll be all right. He'll bounce back. The good old boys club, they always take care of their own. He'll be somewhere.
He's make sure they all good. Man, hey, let me say a quick shout out to my man Rich Vibes in the building. Good to see you, brother. I'm with you, man. We with you, man. So good to see you, man. Yes, sir. We talking about American sports right now. See, Rich is over there on the other side of the pond. See, when we say football, he's gonna think we talking about soccer. And he's over there bending it like Beckham. kids
well,
don't say that
yeah.
anymore. Yeah, the kids don't know about them old days anymore. They all about Ronaldo and who's the other dude? The little short dude.
No, I'm telling you, he rich, whoever he is,
Yeah.
they take so much money. rich little dude. That's what you call him, rich little
Yeah,
dude.
I forgot his name. Somebody gonna correct me, and I'm probably gonna get canceled because I said short dude. But who else got late? So we know AP is out of a job too. Adrian Peterson got waived by the Titans after all of 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then
man,
Chicago
gone.
Nagy, the head coach of Chicago, looked like he gonna be axed.
Yeah, he gonna be. See, here we go. He coming across the pond talking madness. Okay, see, I'm gonna put you on mute, Reggie. Yeah, so a lot of folks losing the job at wrong time of the year, right? The Christmas tree is gonna be a little bare.
It ain't gonna be bare. They gonna spend some time with their family. They got the checks, but I mean, it's I think it's funny because we're just talking about them, and we got all these college sports coaches that are going to be fired. So, it's not a funny matter, especially the college guys. But I mean, some of these guys are getting paid dollars, and now we can see how much emphasis is on sports and winning. That's the more telling story.
True.
Winning.
Yeah.
If you don't win, you are going to be fired. And the higher the level you are, the sooner you're going to be fired. We got to think about it. Think about the coach at LSU. Remember, LSU won the national championship.
LSU was on top. Them Tigers were on top. Yeah.
Les with that deep voice, he was the hottest coach in all football. He beat Alabama. He was
he was bad man.
2 years removed, and he had 9 guys drafted in the NFL, and they're all doing really good. 2 years removed, he is fired.
Gone. That's true.
Gone. You can't beat Alabama again, you're fired. You can't be 8-2 in the SEC where there's Georgia, Alabama. If you can't be in them top echelons, you are fired. That's crazy.
And there's only a handful of coaches. So speaking of college, there's only a handful of coaches in either sport. And I can think women's basketball, men's basketball, football, and all of those different sports who could probably stand the test of time. And that coach from LSU, I thought, was part of that top 15 or so, right? He's obviously not above Saban, but I think he's on that top 15 list. But now look at him again. He's gone. What's up with that?
You would think he was going to be in that top 15. I thought there was no way that Les could call his own shots. He going to pick where he want to go. I could have swore. But I don't think there's any allegations against him or anything. He just lost. He
just lost, right? He just lost his folks, right? I mean, he just lost his star players.
He can't beat Alabama. He hasn't beat Alabama in 2 years. He hasn't been competitive with Alabama in 2 years. He's lost also to Georgia in the last 2 years.
Yeah. So
you lost to the 2 top dogs in the ACC, and that's not good enough. Think about it. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin just turned them around, and they're going to be like, I think, 8-2, 8-3.
And you bring up Lane Kiffin, though, all the drama that Lane Kiffin has been through in his day, right? We got pictures, we got audio, we got video. Lane Kiffin has done some things that he should not be working nowhere except fast food.
He would take a job and leave in the middle of the season. Go take another job.
See, no loyalty too. But now, you're right. Look at him. That's true. Lane Kiffin. Y'all Google Lane Kiffin and what he's done. He's got a rap sheet.
But he's been considered to take over the LSU job.
Crazy. That's crazy talk.
It's funny. It's crazy, man. That the sport, like I said, sports, the magnifying on winning and who you are is now a hot topic. I'm telling you right now. I'm not concerned, but I'm saying it makes me wonder. Oregon's coach.
Yeah.
You were.
Yeah, because I worry about Oregon because it's I'm UCLA. Yeah, so I worry about Oregon.
Well, but I'm just saying. Look at this situation. Oregon. He was basically a shoe-in to get in the playoffs. All you had to do was win out, right?
Yeah.
You lose to Utah. Now you're out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're out of the playoffs. Oregon's been in this situation for 3 years in a row. If they went out the weak Pac-12, because Pac-12 is very, very weak. If you went out the Pac-12, you're going to the playoffs. They've blown it every year.
Yeah.
So now, does the boosters and those in Oregon be like, hey, you're pretty good, but you're not Chip Kelly. You ain't getting us to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm being a devil's advocate. What do you say? Do you keep?
Yeah, and that game, that matchup when Oregon played UCLA, Oregon did win that game. I mean. That seemed like that would be something for them to move forward with. But ever since then, it's kind of been a downhill slope for them.
Well, I mean, but you got to think about it. Is going 8-2 or 9-2 even good enough anymore for Oregon?
Should be. It should be. Right. When you look at the in my mind, when you look at the body of work, but you know that the committee doesn't just look at the scores, and this is for folks who don't know. They look at, again, that margin of victory. Did you just dominate someone? Who was it? Cincinnati that just tore somebody up a couple of days ago?
Indiana. I think it'd be Indiana really bad. They'd be Indiana really bad.
But look, 50-0, or right again. So that's what they look at in terms of how they put the standings for them.
They look at that, but they also looked at, the Pac-12 is a Power 5 conference. So if you win that, you're supposed to be at least automatically considered to be in the playoff conversation. Everyone knows the Pac-12 is pretty weak. It's pretty saturated. Yeah. So you just gotta win out and win with pretty good margin, which Oregon should be capable of doing. I mean, let's think, they went into Ohio State and beat Ohio State. We figured, hey, you know what? They're gonna go ahead and rock and roll through the Pac-12. They're gonna be our representative on the West Coast to get into the 4-man playoffs. They've been in this situation again 3 years in a row, and they failed each time. They haven't been able to make it. Where is Oregon gonna be like LSU? Where is Oregon going to be like, you know what? That's not good enough anymore. Because that's where we're getting to that point. It's not good. I think Jim Harbaugh, if he doesn't make it pretty soon, or if he doesn't beat Ohio State,
he's got to do it, man. I got so much Michigan gear. Look, I was born in Michigan. I'm in love with me.
If he doesn't beat Ohio State soon, this year he's going to be. He bought himself for another year. Yeah. But if he don't beat Ohio State soon, he's going to get fired.
He's gonna have a problem too. Yeah. He's on a shorter leash. But I almost wonder about who has the longer leash because of opportunities for recruiting, right? Is it easier to recruit LSU? Is it easier to recruit Michigan, Big Ten versus an Oregon or something, right? Great teams, great squads, great programs, but man, you put it on the table, all these offer letters for someone. Yeah. Oh, I can go play at LSU, or I can go play at Clemson with Dabo, or those kinds of things. They may have a little bit of a longer lead.
Yeah, but that's going to lead you now back to the NIL. The NIL is going to play a part in that now as well.
Yeah,
because now you come to Oregon. We got Nike.
Yeah, man. You got Nike headquarters. I could be at the Church's Chicken, selling, selling stuff out and getting paid by Nike.
Yeah, we're gonna put you on a Nike ad. And it'd be a Nike.
That's true.
We got the NIL is going to play a big part in the recruiting part, I think. But I think more so, it's now becoming down to what coach is good and can get you over that hump. I'm saying where 9-2 used to be like, wow, that's a great year. You're going to a major bowl. Yeah, that's good. Where is 9-2 going to start saying for teams like Oregon, who's been dominant the Pac-12 for the last few years, that is no longer good enough just to win the Pac-12 and play in the Rose Bowl. You need to be able to go and be in the playoffs, because that's where the money is going to be at that top 4. Yeah. And you've had a clear road to get there for the last 3 years, and you haven't been able to do it.
No, you got a good point. You wonder if they adjust the schedule, not adjust the schedule, but they elongate the season. I don't know about that. I'm just throwing stuff out there at the wall, right?
Yeah. But I mean, because we got to look at it right now. Ohio State took the L early. Look how they came back. Ohio State's hot right now.
I see.
Cincinnati's been hot all year. Great team. We know Alabama's now. This is going to question. We know that Georgia's going to be in it. Georgia's an automatic bid in there.
Yeah.
If Alabama takes another L, do they deserve to be in there? Because they're going to take another L against Georgia in the championship.
Wait a minute, what? Is that right?
Okay?
Oh, yeah,
will you be?
Hold on. Let me get the timestamp right here.
Georgia is going to beat Alabama again. No problem.
You said it right there, folks.
I'm law and order on that one. So if Alabama loses again, do they get an automatic bid? I'm assuming they're probably going to say yes because they're Alabama.
Because they're Alabama.
But
not that I'm an Alabama fan, but I just like the way they play.
But that's okay for Alabama it's considered a down year for Alabama, right? They lose 2 years is considered a down year. Yeah. But I'm saying, where's coaches like from Penn State? Where is going? 10-3 not good enough, because it's starting to be where it's not good enough anymore. It's not. If you're not considered in that playoffs, it's starting to become it's not worth it, and it's not a good enough season for them to have anymore for those power schools.
Yeah. I started thinking about the players on that side too, right? When say you start the year off in the tank, right, and you lose those first 2 games, you already kind of know that here's the trajectory, right? No one mails it in, or no one says it. No player is going to go out there and not compete, but you know your lifespan, right? I mean that's tough.
We got to look at the USC, man. USC, powerhouse USC.
Man, I ain't worried about no USC. We told them up last week. Shouts out to the
I'm saying
UCLA
the crazy part
Bruins.
about it,
USC.
the crazy part about it, no one even wants that job. No one's even willing to take. No one even wants to take that job.
Yeah.
We're talking about historic USC. They got more. They got just as much money as everybody. A facility is just as good as everybody, and they got opportunity for recruits just like everybody else, if not more.
They do.
And they can hardly find a guy that wants to even take that job on to take over, because the pressure, that's going to be a pressure cooker for whoever takes it off, and everybody knows it.
Yeah.
You know, when we come to the point where winning, having 10-2 records, 10-3 records,
it's just
9-4 records are no longer good enough.
It's not acceptable. I'm gonna stay in my industry where I'm doing pretty good, but man, I can get by with a B+, B-, but man, you got to be an A+ student all day, every day in this very well. That's what they pay him for, though, right? That's what them coaches get those multi-million-dollar contracts for, and I've seen pictures and video of Saban's off, stuff like that. His office, right? Just what they're afforded for being in those positions to build and foster a program. Okay, let me put this to you though, because Rich was asking about our teams. What are your teams from a collegiate perspective? I'll start with you, and it's just who are you looking at?
In college, man, I really like the way Cincinnati's playing. I think I always go for the underdog. Georgia is so strong and probably the best team in college football by far. I mean, they got studs on both sides of the ball. I read an article the other day that if the draft was to happen today, on their defense, 11 of 11 will be drafted in the first round. That's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? Their whole defense, they say, can go in the first round right now, which is crazy. For that to even become as an expert. So you got to, I respect what they're doing and they're good. Me personally, my favorite college team is Southwest Minnesota State because my son plays for it, and my other favorite team is Lehigh, which my son coaches for. So those are my two favorite teams, man, just to be, because I'm personally biased to my own.
Yeah.
But college, man, I mean, I look at conferences, man. San Diego State is doing some amazing things there. Who else is doing good things? Michigan's playing pretty good ball, but Harbaugh's he's a wild card. I don't think he can, beat Ohio State. Shout out to Ohio State and Chris Olave for breaking the record. Breaking Chris Carter's record, and then he went ahead and shattered David Boston's record on touchdowns, man. San Diego native, kid's just a great all-around kid. Man, it's a lot. I love college football better than I like NFL because it's a more of a pure game. I think the kids are playing their all out at all moment, and there's no prima donna stuff going on.
True, that's true.
And you'll mostly see, you can watch a Morgan State go against Connecticut, and it's going to be a competitive game. You'll see some guys who be like, man, that guy got some talent on there. Whereas the NFL, the bottoms are not as good as the tops are there. Yeah. But in college football, there's a little bit of disparity when the matchups, except for the elite of the elite. But you take Oregon out of the Pac-12, everybody's competitive.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You take Alabama and Georgia out of the SECs, and then everybody's competitive with the Auburn's and all them. They're really good. So I just love the competitive nature of college football across the board, from Division III, NAI, D2, D1. I love it all.
I'm not even gonna try to follow it up because you are definitely more versed than I am on the college side. Look, I'm a fair weather fan. Look, I'm gonna follow these Bruins because I got ties there from from my youngster out there, so I'm definitely following them in all their sports. I like Dabo, so I'm watching Clemson, and I've been watching them for a minute. What's up?
Shout out to Sac State, man, making the playoffs.
I was going to talk about Sac State beating the Aggies. We won the Causeway Classic and tore the Aggies down, and that's tough for me because I went to Sac State, but I spent a lot of time on UC Davis campus.
Me too.
I think I still got some keys to the UC Davis dorm rooms, right? So I got a lot of ties there.
Hey, the Graduate was the spot right there, boy. That UC Davis was on popping. People don't know about that. UC Davis is a small school in Davis, California, man.
I used to be right on top of them speakers, dancing every single. Man. Yeah. That's
one of the best campuses I ever enjoyed having. It's a great campus now. Great agriculture, great medicine department. Shout out to that school. They doing big things over there.
But they didn't beat Sac State though. They sting us up,
beat
boy.
Sac State,
They
though.
couldn't take care of us, Sac State though. So yeah, we
Man,
won the
Sac State put
Causeway
it on them,
Classic.
man.
We got it this year.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. This is the second year in a row Sac
Yeah.
State got them. So
So
Sac
we
State
got
doing
them.
some big things out there, man. I got to give them their props. They doing way better than them Kings. So
See, there you go. Don't and I it's on the tip of your tongue. I know you want to say something. It's on. I know.
your boys.
We talk about teams that are struggling. It's you just want to go ahead and put this salt in.
How about we do this? Why don't you just tell them who your favorite team is, and now we can leave it at that.
Hey, Rich, just for you.
My mind's telling me no.
Man,
Go ahead, man, tell them who your favorite team is,
me
man.
and my Steelers just don't seem to be getting along right now because they're not winning.
Look, I'm rocking your colors, man. Shoot.
And you black and yellow all day, all you want to. It doesn't matter. Tomlin needs to do something. He he a A5A man. He need to get in there and get the stomping on them fools or something with his boots.
Answer this question: is it time for Tomlin to go? Let's be real. Is it time for Tomlin to go?
No, it's not time for him to go. It's time for Ben to go. Yeah, I mean, I'm.
Wait.
Rudolph wasn't that good. I mean, yeah, was it Rudolph? Yeah, he wasn't that good at all. I'm ready for someone else to get under center. To be honest with you.
But okay, let's dispute your Ben theory.
Yeah,
Ben's been averaging putting up at least 21 points a game this year.
Yeah, he can still play. He can still play. I just don't think that he's dynamic enough now to get us over.
It's got the defense, and it's not Tomlin.
And I don't blame the defense on Tomlin, on Coach. I don't. I blame it on DC. I don't. Yeah, because Tomlin's not a defensive guy. He's more the guy on the other side of the ball. So
okay. So you don't feel there should be no change in leadership?
Not yet. Leadership. So not at the head. So no. We can start shuffling OC, DC, wide receiver coach, special teams coach. We can start shuffling some of those folks around, but. We got a little affinity for the man with the clipboard walking around. I'm gonna give him one more season. I'll give him one more season.
One more.
He got one more again. Yeah, he got one more again to try to get this right, man. Season's not over. We just don't look like we should be looking. We don't look like.
Stick a fork in them, dog. Stick a fork in them. They done.
I'm an optimist, but but you're right. I'm an optimist, but if I was being a realist, this could be it, right? Because if they don't at least get, because they're in the hunt, the wild card hunt right now. If they don't get, if they don't get over that hump right there and make a decent showing, look. It could be that time. It's been a long time that he's been there, and he's been there longer than a lot of other coaches in the league at their specific teams and things of that. So maybe it is time for him to go ahead and shuffle around.
I truly believe Tomlin and Coach Carroll are both on the hot seat on the low. Pete Carroll.
Yeah. But players love Carroll though.
You can love you all you want, but the bottom line, we have to win.
Players love Carroll. He's not winning, but yeah.
He's got to win. And let's be honest, like I read it the other day. Last year they were 12-4 or something like that, 11-5, and Russ was super unhappy because the team hadn't made any improvements. What do you think Russ is going to be doing now that they're 3-6, 3-7, and not going to make the playoffs? And what's going to happen?
Yeah,
now it comes to a point where I think Carroll's attitude and the way he's been has been great, but I think he's a product of wearing too many hats, being a GM and a coach. Pick one or the other and let somebody do give you the bodies for you to coach them, or you go get the bodies and let somebody else coach them.
True.
I love him to death. Tomlin's in the situation. I just think, that grit, glory, his hard coaching, it used to work. It's not responding anymore. And players aren't performing the way they used to. So is it time for him to make a change? Can Tomlin coach? Absolutely. I think he can coach anywhere he wants. I think he would be great in Seattle. I would love to see him in Seattle and see what if he could build Seattle with Carroll. Yeah. But I believe in Pittsburgh, I just don't think it's there no more, man. I really don't think guys are responding, and the team is, even if you bring a new quarterback in, we already saw they try to bring a new, Haskins is there, and he's supposed to be the future because he's supposed to be a great player, but I'm not sure what's going on. I think the offense needs to be rejuvenated, and they need, even though as good as that defense individual players they're not playing together as a team. So
yeah. Shout out to Tony Davidson chiming in, talking about the whole conference is open for the taking. Buffalo fizzled. Kansas
Yep.
City up and down. Tennessee is in trouble. The best
Yep.
teams. The Indianapolis Colts. Imagine that. We talking about the Indianapolis Colts. They out there showing out. And what was the title? What was there was a news article that say, have faith or don't stop believing or something. There was a news article in the Indianapolis paper that say, don't trip, we ain't done something like that. Yeah. Oh, look, at least some real
all
talking
that
about
badness they
Steelers
talk about
alone.
Wentz. Wait, all that badness they talk about Wentz, and he's performing, and the team's performing.
Well, he wasn't performing at all for a while, right? He was trifling for a little while, but now
the running back is amazing. I forgot his name, but the dude is a baller. Their running back, his name slips my mind, but he's a baller. It's funny to me though. What's crazy? Now I got a question for you. That's funny. The Rams traded Goff to Detroit, right? and has a worse record than they had with Goff last year.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you about Stafford?
I gave Stafford a little love last week too, didn't I? I tried to see again. There's that optimist in me right there, but you know what? What does that say about
ex-Lion doesn't change his spots. That dude's horrible, dude.
Yeah, yes. You know what? He not where we need him to be, and I'm not his fan. I'm just gonna throw this right there. I'm gonna put this right in the middle of the screen. Mediocre. TD said mediocre.
I don't know what McVay sees in him that thinks he's so great, man. But
I saw this exact same word today in an article about Mayfield out of Cleveland.
What about Baker? Yeah, what about Baker?
Mediocre. Right?
Oh,
No, the exact same word, saying that, Cleveland is finally waking up and saying, Mayfield ain't that good either.
Yeah, but you know what the difference is? Cleveland is still competitive and winning. Like before they win, McVay won a Super Bowl, I believe, with Goff. You traded your Super Bowl quarterback because you thought he wasn't good enough, and went and got the Stafford because we were supposed to see all these fireworks, and this is going to be.
Well, they didn't win. They got there, but they didn't win. Yeah, they got to the game.
Oh, they got there. They didn't win. Okay,
they didn't win. Yeah,
but was supposed to be the next greatest show on turf.
Yeah,
with bringing in Stafford. You look like the greatest dud on earth because they can't do nothing. And I truly believe people want to say it all they want. They keep undermining the running back, and the running back is probably one of the most important positions in football because it helps you contain the ball. Look at what the Chargers do. Look at what Cincinnati's doing. You know why? Because both teams can run the ball. They can run. They are in every game they're playing. They may not win them all, but they're competitive in every game they're playing, and they're starting to get over that hump where they're winning those close games.
Yeah.
San Diego and Cincinnati with Mixon and Austin Eckler are showing glimpses of what you need with a great running back. Because Baltimore gets away with it because Jackson can run so good, so he might as well be a running back. But look at the teams that don't have good running backs that are struggling. Kansas City don't have a running game. They're struggling right now.
Rely too much on the tight end. Yeah. Okay.
Buffalo's running game then went to dismal. I don't know what's going on with they can't win for nothing. But look who's winning though. Patriots. Why? Because they got a running game. I think the running game is been so undermined in the NFL, man. I think that it's coming back. It's coming back to be in a very important position, and I hope guys get their just due in there. But the AFC's, man, is open to anybody. I don't know who's going to win it because a team could look great one week and then they look horrible the following week.
Yeah. We'll see what happens this weekend, and we'll see our last.
It won't be those Steelers or those Raiders, though.
You know what? Show is over. Let me push some of these buttons because we done. God, let me break this up. So Mayfield has an injury for real. This key point here you bring up, TD, the Brett Favre syndrome. Nobody talking about that. Go a little deeper in the comments, man. Would love to hear what you're talking about because I'm going to assume
you're talking about the dude. He's a risk taker, and
that's what I'm thinking, right? He'll try to hurl the ball, 80 yards down the field and just Hail Mary, see if anybody will catch it. That's true, though. That's true.
But I want people to know, and I mean people that know a lot about football or don't know about football. We all know everybody's good in certain systems, right? Yeah. It depends on the system you're in. Look, I hate to say it, Jimmy Garoppolo was playing some really good ball. Because he's in that system that the 49ers finally came around and putting the ball in this place. No one's talking about his backup coming in the game no more. The kid they drafted.
True.
It's all about Garoppolo because he's playing in a really good system. I think it's all about system. I think Baker Mayfield can be a great quarterback or a good quarterback. I think that system is wrong for him. They want him to throw the vertical ball, and he's not a vertical ball thrower. Just the opposite of what the 49ers, like in the Raiders situation. their quarterback is they're trying to make him be a vertical throw down the ball 80 yards down the field, and he can't do it. It is what it is.
No, you're right.
But when you get in the system like Cam Newton just came into a system that he's familiar with, look what he can do.
You know,
Goes in the game.
day one, game one, first two plays.
Cam Newton's got 5 touchdowns all around, and he only been playing 2 times. He scored more than some of the quarterbacks and everybody's in the league right now.
See, now you're all in people business now. Now you, yeah, true.
But it's all about systems, and I think like he was saying, Baker Mayfield, he's struggling in that system. I think, if he goes to the right system, or they go back to their old system where they were running the ball with both those running backs, and he just threw to Landry and threw to his tight end and was able to manage the game and not put it in a situation where he has to win the game and try to throw the ball in pockets and try to make all these great plays, we would be like, he's Alex Smith. He's a good management of the game. He may not win it for you, but he damn sure won't lose it for you. Right now, Baker Mayfield's a liability because he could possibly lose the game because he throws too many interceptions.
Yep. And here we go right here. Remember, Favre was hurt years back with the Jets, and nobody knew he had rotator problems. He had the whole month of December that year. Same with Baker. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point, brother. Good point on that. Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? Can't play hurt no more. That's the problem. I know these guys don't want to lose a job, but if you're gonna play hurt and be detrimental to the team, then it might be best for you to sit out. But now that we say hurt, Jalen Hurts is balling for Philadelphia, and mark my words, I think Philly's gonna win that division. I know Dallas Cowboy fans is mad, but the way they playing,
Cowboys ain't winning. You know what? We gonna get in trouble by just saying that right now because Cowboys was the next story. Cowboys ain't winning nothing, man. Dak Prescott can do his little pregame warm ups all he want to with his little shimmy, whatever. He ain't gonna.
They about to hire Jason Garrett back, man. They about to get it together. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about them Cowboys.
Man, America's team is not looking good right now. They getting blown out. But they will be playing though again, and we will watch them on Thursday.
Yeah.
And just curious, I know folks have always wondered about that. I didn't know about it either, but why is it always them Cowboys and them Lions playing at home on Thanksgiving Day? It don't make sense. It's just a football tradition that started literally back in the the 30s, back in World War II time. Was it? Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see here. November 29th, 1934 was the first time that the Lions actually started playing at home on Thanksgiving. And then the Cowboys did it in 1966, and ever since then, both of them teams, I guess they just had the tradition with the league where they're playing at home on Thanksgiving. This year we got them playing. We also have who's playing this year? We got I thought I saw.
There's another game. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was them. There it is. The Bears at the Lions, just the Raiders at the Cowboys, and the Bills at the Saints.
I don't want to watch none of them.
Why is Siri waking up over here? Siri got a little anxious when I don't know what I said to her.
I don't want to watch none of them, but I'm gonna watch all 3.
You gonna watch all 3? You gonna?
I don't want to watch none of them, but I'm gonna watch all 3. They all gonna be on the TV while we cooking and eating. So
I'm gonna make a prediction for all 3 games right now. There's no science behind it, but it's just my gut feeling. I think the Bears got that one.
Whatever you pick, I'm going opposite. So we'll
you are not going to pick the Lions to win anything.
I'm going opposite. I'm going Lions with a win over Chicago.
Wow. Okay. We gonna play like that. I got the Bears, I got them Raiders, and I got them Saints.
Good. I got 3 people to root for. I'm rooting for them Cowboys, those Lions, and the Buffalo Bills.
We gonna put a gentleman's wager out on this for sure. We're gonna figure something out. Let me write this down. So who I got? I got the Bears.
You got the Bears, the Raiders, and
wait a minute. Who lost all? See, TD, who? Come on, brother. We go back, man. We back to high school. Hopefully you on my squad, man. Don't put me out there like that. I got the Bears, the Raiders, and the Saints.
Yep.
Somebody gonna win.
I'm winning all 3.
There you go.
We're gonna put that soda pop on there.
Something
put that soda
old school
pop
too. Yeah, I'll ship it down there to Southern Cal, and I'm gonna want some ginger ale up here or something. I'm gonna need you to find some hard to find ginger ale and sip it up.
Likewise. What about that cakes, man? What about that cakes we can order on Prime?
Yeah,
Amazon Prime.
only you can order it online, right? You can't get it at your local Bevmo or your local Total Wine or whatever. So
we got it, man.
Yeah, brother. Hey, man, today was good, right? We got to smile a little bit, have some good conversation. We didn't have to talk too much about jail and things like that. It's still happening, but we go ahead and put that to the side for a minute. We'll probably take it up later. But brother, I know you about to jump on a 737 and go see some folks. So safe travels with that. Don't eat too much, but eat enough. Do what you got to do.
I want to wish you and your family and all our friends out there a very thankful Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Count your blessings, man. This is a day to go ahead and eat and put your problems behind you, at least for a few hours. Have some good food, enjoy some good company. Be thankful for what you got and what you're gonna get. Because what you don't have right now it's in the reach. It's just in the reach, man. Just gonna take a little bit more time than you have right now.
So, I got nothing else to say, man. That's the way to do it. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be good. Enjoy your holiday. I'm out, brother. You be good to yourself.
Absolutely. Stay blessed.